Florida is at it again. Florida, I just don't understand you. The Sunshine State with beautiful oranges and tangerines and the like. Y'all governor is absolutely the worst. I mean the worst. So y'all are the gift. I can't even call you the gift that keeps on giving. You may remember this story from back in 2022. Florida judge under fire for citing poor grades as a reason to deny a 17-year-old an abortion. Now here was the situation. Let's go down memory lane, shall we? Jared Smith said the 17-year-old was unfit to obtain an abortion as he questioned her overall intelligence, emotional development, and stability. The decision was overturned by a 3-member appeals court that said Smith abused his judicial discretion. You better say that. Now here's the smug shot of the judge. Go ahead and put Rayyvana up with me, because we're gonna rest right here, right on that, right there. Now he got the pure unadulterated gall to question. Now anybody, I mean, there are studies that show that emotional development, not before the age of 25, quite frankly. I mean, there's a lot of things, Ray, for me being a mama that I would say people can't do before they 25. And I would even push it to 35, but we could settle on 25. The science shows about, emotional development. So got that. But this judge, now help me understand this, Rayyvana, because I don't. So you saying she not mature enough to have an abortion, but she mature enough to birth a child? Please, Ray, help make it make sense for me.
The thing about conservative logic is that it doesn't have to be logical, apparently, because I can't fathom in any way, shape, or form how you can say that if someone's not old enough or not mature enough to make the decision to have an abortion, but you're like, but you know what? You're mature enough to have a baby. You who are still a baby, mature enough to have a baby and raise that baby.
Bring a whole ass life into the world that you're totally responsible for the rest of your life. Don't matter, even when they turn 18, you still responsible. You still have that love. You might not be legally responsible. It just don't make sense. I'm trying to make this make sense, and I'm so glad that a 3-judge panel said that he overstepped his bounds. Now, the reason why, Ray, we taking people down memory lane, because here's the latest. A Florida Supreme Court seat is opened up last month, and Jared Smith will be interviewed, this judge, alongside 14 others next month by a nominating committee. Now filling the vacancy will mean that DeSantis will have picked 5 of the court's 7 members. And that is a problem, potentially crucial factor for the future of abortion laws in the state of Florida. And DeSantis began his transformation of the Florida Supreme Court immediately after taking office in 2019, appointing 3 justices in his first month. He did that. John Stemberger, president of Florida Family Policy Council, said at the time the court had, quote, the potential to have the most reliably consistent and conservative judicial philosophy in the country. And that reporting is coming from The Guardian. Now, that's bad for the state of Florida, Ray, and it is bad for the rest of the country for this man to have that kind of power on the Florida Supreme Court. And now this particular judge that cited that for grades as a reason and other reasons to deny a 17-year-old girl an abortion, but said, hey, birth the whole ass person into the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, and I'm glad we're covering this story because I think a lot of media attention focuses solely on our federal Supreme Court, which of course is really important to pay attention to. But we're seeing all of these heinous and discriminatory bills being passed that target women, that target trans individuals, reproductive freedoms generally, passing through these state legislators, and it's the state Supreme Courts that are gonna get to uphold those and make decisions on the state level, particularly as it pertains to abortion. So I think it's important to highlight this. And I don't know whether or not DeSantis is gonna appoint this one particular judge, but I mean, it doesn't change the fact that the entire roster is a litany of right-wing freaks essentially. And at the end of the day, what he's saying is, even if he doesn't appoint him, I can call this guy up for an interview that was rejected by, his decisions rejected by, a 3-judge panel, rejected by the population of Florida. That doesn't matter. I can still call up this right-wing extremist judge and bring him in for an interview because I have the authority to do so. And that should scare people. And it should, be a call to action for people in the state of Florida.
Yeah, it should be, Ray. I'm just definitely perplexed that this man was even elected. I mean, from the judicial nomination, you're right. Anybody he puts there, whether it's this judge or another one, is going to be wrong all day long. But the point about everything that he's doing there, from banning books, trying to whitewash history in this country. I mean, he is really the wrong person to be governor of any state in this country, less known president of the United States of America. I truly believe, and I'm gonna keep saying it here, Donald Trump leaves a lot to be desired. President Donald J. Trump leaves a lot to be desired. He is a neo-fascist. Governor DeSantis, to the 10th power, neo-fascist, much worse than President Donald J. Trump. DeSantis is dangerous. And I'm saying this to the nation, that this man must never make it to the White House.